And we're back, guys. I'm your host, Good Energy. I give you the rundown on tennis coverage every day. And we have the second match of the semifinal round. And this is going to be amazing as well. Could we have asked for two better matches, guys? When this tournament started, looking at this draw, Coco and Iga, that's what everyone wants. Can Coco finally get the job done here in France on clay? We'll see. Jasmine taking on Mirra, the future of Russian tennis, Little Italy, aka Ciao Bella. It's going to be a good match, guys. I mean, both of these ladies are doing amazing things. Jasmine Paolini ranked 15th on the world tour. Now, making it here to the semifinal round, she's now bumped herself up to ranked 11th in the world. And if she wins this match, she's guaranteed to be at least ranked 5th in the world. If she wins her next two matches, then things get really interesting as she's got a chance there to possibly pass Elena Rybakina on grass season, but guaranteed a 5th spot in the world rankings if she wins this match. Now, in terms of Mirra, she makes it to the semifinal round. She's now in the Olympics, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. She takes out Anna Kalinskaya by literally 131 points. Amazing. Wow, she really played for it, and that's got to be heartbreaking for Anna Kalinskaya to see Sabalenka seemed like she was in control early in the third set. Unbelievable. Beautiful. And we got a match to be played. Now, if let's say Mara wins this match, right? She's the favorite against Jasmine. She'll pick up at least another 1,200 points. And that could see her, she's ranked 23rd now. She could literally climb up to as far as 13th or 14th on the world tour, which would be her career high as well. This is amazing, guys. These two ladies really played hard to get here. They deserve it. Mira finds herself here after taking out Emma Batcast in straight sets in the first round. Vika in the second round went 3. Peyton Stearns in straight sets. Vavara in straight sets. And Sabalenka in 3 today. While taking on Little Italy, Jasmine finds herself here after taking out Dasha Seville in straight sets. Haley Baptiste in straight sets. Bianca Andreescu in 3. Elena Evanesian in 3. And Elena Rybakina in 3. Is she going to be tired is the question. That's going to be the question. Now, Mirra said in the post-match interview that Jasmine plays very fast. She's very difficult to play against. And yes, Jasmine does play fast. And I talked about how, Elena has a lot of supporters, right? We know that. Excuse me, guys. We know that she's big time. But a lot of people don't understand that, tennis is really about matchups. Styles make matchups. And Jasmine presents just a very bad matchup for Elena Rybakina. Just a very, or in the words of Sophie, Rybakina. She presents very difficult challenges that Rybakina cannot problem solve against. You can't teach speed, but how do you defend speed? Well, you have to go to top spin. And Rybakina can go to topspin, but it's not really her style. She's deep, flat. She's a very powerful, aggressive ball striker, and she's on the attack, which I've said in the past. She's been one of the worst defenders in the top 10. She's offensive minded. It is what it is. Her best defenses are offense, whereas Jasmine is speeding Rybakina up, right? So it's all about the style. She's so fast and explosive. Jasmine she has a little bit of defense, but Jasmine for the most part is an offensive minded player. She's aggressive. She's an aggressive forehand striker. And this is going to be an interesting matchup because they just played in Madrid where there's elevation and the ball. It's tough for offensive minded people in Madrid. The ball doesn't travel well through the air. And I felt those conditions favored Mirra, right? Mirra won that match. The first set went to a tiebreak, though, and the second set 6-4. She won the tiebreak 7-2. That was pretty bad, right? But Here in France, these conditions, the ball, the balls in terms of the climate, the air, the ball travels better, in my opinion, to those that are more aggressive. You know, those forehands, those powerful players that like to really attack, the offensive minded players. The ball carries much better through the air in contrast to Madrid here in Rome, or here in France versus Madrid for the offensive minded people. And it's going to favor Paolini. These conditions will favor Jasmine, in my opinion. But one thing about Mirra is, I watch her matches. I can't really grasp her game. I can't really get it down pack. It's just her game. It's like she does what she needs to do to win. And like for example, she said Martinez gave her the game plan, and she said, I forgot the game plan. Coco's too fast for me." She said she forgot the game plan, and she's like, I don't forget all the time, but I felt it worked in my favor, and it did work in her favor because she's able to improvise. She's able to play the ball, get balls back. And the one thing I'm impressed about Mirra is her wingspan. Just watching her play, one thing's consistent. She gets balls back. She closes out well. And with her arms extended, she's got a nice fine touch to just get that ball over the net and make her opponents play one more shot. And you saw Sabalenka, blow that wide open winner. Mirra's just solid. And again, the main thing that I see watching her play is she's a lot more mentally tough than people can expect a 17-year-old to be. She's extremely mentally tough. She's sound. And again, because I feel she's playing with house money, she has nothing to lose because she has age on her side. If she loses, oh yeah, she's 17. But if she wins, it's an upset. And I just feel her mental ability, along with her physical ability, for her age, she's very strong. And this is the thing about a young tennis player, right? When you get older, and I talked about this in the past, when you get older, like Danielle Collins or, Magda Linette, these older players on tour, Caroline Wozniacki, I'm not going to throw Caroline in there, but I say the older players on tour that don't have children yet, right? Like Sloane Stevens, Magda Linette, and, Danielle Collins. These type of players, they have now a point that they're in a transition point of their career where they're getting older. They're possibly now starting to think about having a family. Danielle's been trying, it hasn't gone her way, but they're thinking about having a family. They're trying to get these last minute endorsement deals to kind of set themselves up for retirement. So, but they also can't risk a major injury, right? So what happens is when they're practicing, they're not practicing full speed. They're conserving because, it's recovery, it's stamina. There's a lot of things that go into how an older player prepares versus a younger player. You take a look at a young player like a 17, 16-year-old. And I say women's tennis is a female. Women's tennis is a young lady sport. It's a young girl sport, so to speak, right? Because if you're 16 or 17, you can practice for 4 hours a day, right? 3, 4 hours a day. When you're 28, 29, 30, 31, you can't practice 4 hours a day. Recovery is going to be an issue. Injuries, getting hurt is going to be a big issue, right? And again, you have other obligations. You have other things you need to focus on. Whereas a 17-year-old, mom is handling the money for the most part, all she's doing is showing up, listening to her coaches. All she has to do is listen. But Mirra's the type of player where, what was it, last year? All she wanted to do was play tennis. She's on the schedule restrictions because she was, 15 going on 16. She had the schedule restrictions to where, the tour limits how many matches she can play. And she's like, look, I just want to play tennis. When you're that age, they can put in 4 or 5 hours on the court. And anyone that's ever coached adults and kids and teens, it's easier to teach a child or a teenager than it is an adult. They're set in their ways. They have bad habits you have to break. You tell Mirra, look, coach says, look, I need you to do this, that, and the other. She's going to listen. She's just going to be like, okay, because she just wants to have fun. She has the athletics. ability, the youth on her side, the stamina on her side. Now, that's one thing. A 17-year-old versus a 32-year-old, stamina is going to be a big issue. The 17-year-old is going to have the better stamina for the most part. So this is how Mirra at such an early age is able to beat all these adult players because she's putting more work in. Now, yes, the older players are more experienced, but again, you factor in athletic ability, the way she's constantly learning. She has nothing to lose. She's mentally tough. She's strong, good defender. That's a lot to overcome for these older players. And the crowd's cheering her on because the crowd wants her to win because she's so young and we're all happy for her. That's a lot going for her. So when she enters these matches, all the pressure's on her opponent. Madison Keys said it best. You don't want to be the one that loses to the 15 or 16-year-old. It's going to be embarrassing. So a lot of times they're overplaying. They're nervous. Tennis players do get nervous, right? It's a very fast sport. If you don't have that first step, you're going to get embarrassed. Tennis is a very fast sport. So playing these younger players, Madison Keys said it best, it's nerve-wracking because you don't want to be the one to lose. So sometimes you might end up doing too much, which ends up hurting you. So this match here, guys, Mirra's the favorite. Mirra won the last meeting. But again, I think these conditions favor Jasmine. And I think Jasmine is going to cover the alternate spread. I think she's going to win at least a set. I think Jasmine has a great opportunity to beat Mirra and make her first slam final. If you think Jasmine's not going to bring it, she's going to bring it. So the pick here, we're going to take Paolini to win at least one set, right? Good value. And we're going to take her to cover the alternate spread of 6.5 games. So those are the two picks there, guys. I do think Paolini. Now, I don't want to go against Mirra because, like I tell you, Mirra she's her game. She's learning. She has nothing to lose. She's playing very smart and disciplined. But I just think that I think it's Jasmine's year. And this is going to propel her to number 5 on tour. So I think Jasmine's going to do very well in this spot. It's a revenge match. And listen, guys, I'm talking like plus 3,000 to make the championship match. You know, I think the force is going to be with Paolini, even though the crowd will probably be split, favoring Mirra a little bit more just because she's 17. But Jasmine has a lot of love in France. Did you hear how they were cheering her versus Rybakina? Yes, she just beat Rybakina and Mirra just beat Sabalenka. Can't really compare the two, but I do say in terms of speed and fast play, Jasmine does play fast, and that's going to be something Mirra, I don't know if she can handle 2 days in a row. Now, in terms of Paolini handling Mirra, if she plays fast, that should be enough in itself. Now, Mirra said in the post-match interview that Jasmine plays very fast, and she's very challenging. And that's why Rybakina lost, and Jasmine's played Rybakina so well. It's just a bad matchup stylistically. Short center of gravity, very fast. Lena's very tall, doesn't move as well, not a good defender, struggling, on her first serves. That's a recipe for disaster. And I do think Jasmine has a great opportunity to beat Mirra. Jasmine should beat Mirra, let's just be honest. But Sabalenka should have beat her as well. But yeah, I like Jasmine to win a set. I like her plus 6.5. And I do think Jasmine wins the match. But those are the picks. Enjoy, guys. Like the video. Show some love. We'll be right back.